Are the practical examinations of the CBSE Class 12 board examinations just a formality, or is it really important? A lot of students feel that they will get full marks in the practical examinations, and they feel that everybody will get full marks irrespective of their performance. But it's not the case. Practical examinations of the CBSE Class 12 board examination is very, very important, and it will play a major role in deciding your final CBSE board examination results, okay? And hence, it is not actually a formality that everybody will be given full marks. And you cannot expect full marks by doing nothing, because the CBSE will evaluate you based on the performance in the CBSE Class 12 board examination, and hence you have to write the practical examinations well, because it plays a major role. And the practical examination is out of 20 marks out of 100, so it's 20 marks. It weighs 20% of the final 100% of the results. So you have to give importance to the practical examinations, and it's not at all a formality. It is important, and it's going to affect your CBSE board examination results. Because a lot of students this year have got less marks in the practical examination, and they feel very bad because they are not able to get admission into their dream universities because of low marks in the practical, and many have failed in the practical examination. As a result of that, they failed in the entire subject. However marks they get in theory, it's of no use, because once you fail in practical, it is same as failed in the theory as well. And you cannot apply for re-evaluation or rechecking for practical examination, because there is no rechecking or evaluation allowed for practical examination. So out of 20, whatever marks you got out of 20, that will be your final marks. So nothing can be done. And who actually puts this mark? It's actually a combination of your school and the external teacher who come and evaluates you during your practical examination. Because during the practical examination, what happens is you are actually being evaluated by your own school, and at the same time, an external invigilator will come and examine your practical performance. So viva will be asked, marks will be evaluated based on the project which you have done, and also based on the experiment output which you have obtained. Marks will be given by both your school teacher as well as the practical examiner who's coming from other schools. Some other school will come to your school and evaluate. So it's a combination of two people who's giving you marks, but ultimately the practical marks will be known by your school on that day of the practical exam itself, okay? So if you ask your school, you will be able to know that, but the school will not reveal the practical marks, because this marks will be sent by the school to the CBSE board. And only in the final results that you get, you will be able to see your practical marks, and you cannot change that practical marks. You can request the CBSE stating that the practical marks is error, or there's a mistake in my marks. I expected a lot, but there's a mistake. That was what happened to one student. He expected a lot of marks, but what happened was he was given less marks in practical. He was expecting 20 out of 20 marks in practical this year in mathematics, but he got only 15 marks, and as a result, it has affected his admission performance. So I'll request you to give more importance to both your practical as well as theory, because it plays a major role in your final result, right? So it is the practical marks is the first marks which is actually added to your final results, even if before you write the theory exam. So you have to give importance to that. You have to learn all the experiments, perform the lab experiments properly on time, and also you have to get the output in the examination. So that's more important. You will be evaluated based on your performance in that examination, 3-hour examination. You will be evaluated and marks will be given. So you have to perform well during that examination, because everything decides based on that examination. So if you're absent, or if you are medically ill, if you cannot afford to even write the examination, then You will be asked to write the examination on a separate date, because there's flexibility in conducting the practical examination, because it's conducted every year from the mid of January to the mid of February. So you have that flexibility because the school decides when to conduct the practical examination, but the marks are sent by your school to the CBSE only after conducting the practical examination for all the students, and not everybody gets full 20 out of 20 marks in the practical exam. You must understand that. And a lot of students also get low marks, and most of the students do get full marks, but it depends on the teacher, as well as depends on the school who is giving you marks, and also depends on the external examiner who comes and evaluates you. And hence, you must take this into account and prepare for the practical examination, because even if your output is very less, even you don't know anything, then you will be made to fail, right? So not everybody will pass the practical examination, and hence you have to perform well in order to actually get this full marks. Not everybody is given full marks, and hence it's very important, and it really impacts your final CBSE board examination results. So I will recommend you to focus both on the theory as well as the practical, because if you fail in practical, there is no reevaluation, there is no rechecking allowed. You cannot change the marks of your practical examination performance, and hence that's very important. And also theory is more important because it's based 80% of marks of your total marks. So 80% of marks you will get in theory. So theory plays a major role. You have to give importance to your theory, and only the performance in that 3 hour of board examination decides the whole marks. So even 1 year of your classwork is decided by a 3 hour examination. So you must keep that in mind and prepare accordingly and perform well in the CBSE classwork board examination. So if you have any questions, then leave it down in the comment section so that I'll be able to help you out.